Let's start with the prompt. Which choice logically completes the text? That's one of our harder prompts because we need to understand the text well enough to be able to predict in our own words what might come after. So let's start. Tides can deposit large quantities of dead vegetation within a salt marsh, smothering healthy plants and leaving a salt pan, a depression devoid of plants that tends to trap standing water in the marsh's interior. This ecologist and colleagues found that burrowing crabs living within these pans improve drainage by loosening the soil, leading to the pans to shrink as marsh plants move back in. At salt marsh edges, however, crab-induced soil loosening can promote marsh loss by accelerating erosion, suggesting that the burrowing action of crabs is, in my own words, I would say, is more useful in the center of the marsh and less useful toward the edges, because that's what the passage said. It said that in the center, let's see, the burrowing crabs improve drainage by loosening the soil, leading to the pan's shrinking. So that's the pan overall. But it says at the edges, that loosening is bad because it accelerates erosion. So crabs should live in the center, but they shouldn't live at the edges. So let's look at the answers. A, can be beneficial to marshes with small pans, but can be harmful to marshes with large pans. Maybe the opposite is true because a pan means that the crabs are going to be more at the edges because there's not that much space. So this might be the opposite of what's true. B, may promote increases in marsh plants or decreases in marsh plants depending on the crab's location. That fits what we said because at the center of the marsh, it's great, but at the edges, it's damaging and adds to the erosion. C, tends to be more heavily concentrated in areas of marsh interiors with standing water than at marsh edges. So the burrowing action is more concentrated in one than the other. We're not really seeing where it's more concentrated. We're just seeing where it helps versus where it causes damage. So D varies. So the action of crabs varies in intensity depending on the size of the pan relative to the size of the marsh. Well, we didn't really see varying intensity of the crabs. We just saw a discussion of where the crabs were good and where they were bad. So the answer that worked here is B.